dear friends. Today in Shiksha Mantra, we have a very important topic, and the topic is phrases and clauses. As you know, these are very important grammar topics that we must learn, and we want to learn it rigorously, but today we are going to show you how it begins from the very early stages of our learning of English grammar. So let's start. Before starting our discussion regarding phrases and clauses, I have added another factor here, and that is parts of speech. Now you'd ask me why I have added parts of speech here with phrases and clauses. Just remember one very simple thing. Whenever you are going to learn something in advanced English grammar, it is somehow related to some very basic chapters that you have already learned. And here, for phrases and clauses, learning of parts of speech is very much important. We have already discussed about parts of speech, and you can check it there in the I button. I have given it above, and from there you can learn parts of speech. But why I have started talking about parts of speech when I am going to discuss about phrases and clauses, it's very important for you to understand. So follow it well and understand how phrases and clauses and their learning is supported by parts of speech. So let's begin our discussion with parts of speech first. So here in our discussion, I have written parts of speech, and there I have focused only on three components of parts of speech, and they are nouns, adjectives, and adverbs. Only these three things I have focused on. Why? You'd get it very easily. But remember, parts of speech, this is nothing but the blocks or the units with which we start our sentence. So when we form a sentence, we use some parts of speech like this. This sentence, what we have written here, he is let. Here you'd find he, is, and let. These three are three different parts of speech, and here each and every word is used in this sentence as a unit, and we call them parts of speech. So he, that is a pronoun, is, that's a verb, and let, that is an adverb. So these are the three words or three parts of speech that we have used here in this sentence in building up of a sentence. And what happens when it shifts to phrases? Yes, when you shift it to phrases, you'd get that same nouns, the same adjectives, and the same adverbs in phrase as well. But there's only one difference. What you get here adverb or noun or pronoun as a single word, but in a phrase you'd get them as a group of words. And the same thing you'd find even in clauses. There you'd find a noun, an adjective, and an adverb, but this time they would be found as a group of words as well. So the same nouns for parts of speech, a single word; for phrase, a group of words; and in clauses, a group of words again. So where lies the difference between phrases and clauses when they are group of words? The difference is very simple. In phrases, you would get a group of words, but there you won't find any finite verb. But when it's in clauses, you would find a group of words with a finite verb, a subject of its own, and sometimes an object, or a complement, whatever it may be. So the basic difference between phrase and clause is that a phrase is a group of words but without a finite verb, whereas a clause is a group of words with a finite verbs. So finally, we may come to a conclusion that a clause is nothing but a small sentence within a big sentence. So clauses are sentences within sentence, and they are in the form of a group of words. But for this, why have I started the discussion about parts of speech? Yes, this is very important. When you learn parts of speech well, that's when you learn everything about noun and you shift to phrase, you'd get that those things are repeated there for phrases as well. So first you'd have to find out the phrase, and then you'd have to learn which types of phrase is this, whether this is used as a noun or as an adjective or as an adverb. So you must know what is noun and how they are used. There are only 5 positions, as you know, in a sentence where a noun or a pronoun may occur, and those are the 5 positions again where you would find a phrase in a sentence, and that phrase is used as a noun. So learning of parts of speech is very much essential. If you don't have the detailed knowledge of parts of speech, it's very difficult for you to understand the phrase. If you don't have particularly detailed knowledge of parts of speech, that's noun, adjective or adverb, you would find it very difficult to find out the noun clause or adjective clause or adverb clause, because an adverb clause is nothing but a small sentence which is used within a sentence, and that serves the purpose of an adverb. The same thing happens for noun and adjectives as well. So a detailed knowledge of nouns and adjectives and adverbs in parts of speech is very much essential to get the proper concept of phrases and clauses. It's very easy. If you say what is a phrase, what is a noun phrase, what is a clause, what is a noun clause, these are very much easy to understand. But it's very difficult to find out which purpose they are serving there. And to find this out, you must have a detailed knowledge of parts of speech, the detailed knowledge of noun, adjective and adverbs. That's why I have started my discussion saying that you must learn parts of speech well to get a very advanced knowledge in phrases and clauses. So learn the parts of speech first. Learns everything about noun, learn everything about adjective and everything about adverb, and only then shift to your learning of phrases. And when you complete your learning of phrases, and that is in conjugation with parts of speech, so you have learned parts of speech and phrases now, and when this is complete, you can shift to clauses and you'd add this. So this is a process which would continue from parts of speech to phrase and clause. It's a continuous process. You'd have to learn them in continuity. Don't learn them separately, and you'd find it very difficult to learn if you start learning clauses without a detailed knowledge of parts of speech. I'm sure that it would be very difficult for you to learn clause, and it's very difficult for you to get a detailed knowledge of clause, and that's why I have started my discussion with parts of speech, and probably you have understood why I have told this. And there, what is our ultimate goal? In our exam, we'd face transformation of sentences or do as directed, and there we have been asked to transform a complex sentence or compound sentence into a simple sentence. And there, the knowledge of actually detailed and continuous knowledge of parts of speech, phrases and clauses are very much essential. So you must learn parts of speech first, and you must have a detailed knowledge of parts of speech, and you'd find phrases and clauses very much easy. So let's have some examples and you'd find what I am saying here. To make it vivid, I have used 3 sentences here. I have written the band left then. This is the first sentence and we'd consider the first sentence first. Here, put focus on the word then. This is your point to focus. And as you know, this is only an adverb, and there we have used the band as subject, left the verb, and then an adverb, that is then. So then this is used here as a parts of speech, and there you won't find any group of words. These are only single words used in this sentence and making it a simple sentence. And then you must look at this sentence, that is the second sentence. Here we have written this sentence in almost same manner as it has been written in the first sentence. There's also one verb, that is left, the band, its subject, and then after the party, and here you would find a group of words after the party, and this group of words don't consist. Actually here you won't find any finite verb. So this group of words is used here as a phrase. This is a phrase because it creates a single identity. There you won't find any extra sense, only one sense. It's conjugated, it's concentrated into a single sense, and that is why this is a phrase, and it speaks of what? It speaks of time. So this is adverb of time, and here this is an adverb phrase. So that's how your knowledge of parts of speech would drag you to your knowledge of phrases. And now look at the third sentence. The band left when the party was over. So here I'd ask you to check the verbs first. This is very important. Whenever you are going to analyze a sentence, your first task is to look for the verb. And here you'd see left and was. Two verbs are present here. Two verbs means two sentences. So we can make a break here just in the middle of this sentence, and you'd get two different sentences. The band left. The band is the subject for the verb left. So you get one clause here, and then when the party was over, here party is also a subject for the verb was. So what finally you get? You finally get when the party was over, and this part is also formed of group of words. These are the words which form a group, and that is used in a sentence to give us a sense of time, the same thing that we have found here. So from phrases it is shifted here as an adverb, but this time this is adverb clause. So dear friends, finally, if you come to this point, you'd see that these in it you'd find a verb and a subject. So this is a simple thing that we have already told you, that this is a small sentence within a large sentence, and this is a clause. It's used adverbially to speak of time, and it is used as an adverb. So we'd consider this clause as adverb clause. So what happens finally? We have found that our learning of parts of speech is extended into phrases and then to clauses, and that is why I have told you that you must learn the parts of speech well. And if you do this, you would find that phrases and clauses is very much easy, and that's what you'd have to do when you want to learn phrases and clauses seriously. So learn phrases and clauses. If you like this video, please put a like for this, put your comment in the comment boxes, and obviously if you are a newcomer in this channel, don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you'd get the first notifications whenever I put videos on English grammar and education and learning. And till then, happy learning.